In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Wednesday, August 7th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our Wednesday, August 7th MLB bet slate we got going on. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJSD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 7.62 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you guys want to sign up for that Patreon, remember that link is provided down below. Remember, I did not post a video yesterday. I did let you guys know very early that I wasn't going to be able to put up a video, but if you wanted to sign up for the Patreon, that link was provided down below. But you guys missed out on the previous night in the Patreon. We went 1 for 2 on the community bet. Actually, we go 2 for 2. 1 for 2. 1 for 2. We'll go 1 for 2. Giants and Rangers, that came through, as you can see, this one right here. Rangers by itself was a play that I really love. And then our home run props came through as well. Gabriel Moreno here, plus 900. That came through. Moreno with Corey Seager. I pair that together. I give you at least like a few home run guys. This is one of the pairings that I had, and this one paid off in dividends here. Moreno and Seager came through here, plus 4,500. That was $5 for 230. So that was a pretty solid night there with the community parlay coming through and the home runs being stacked up. So if you guys want winning plays, remember that Patreon link is provided down below. Also, that BetStamp link is provided down below as well in the description if you want more free plays for the slate on Wednesday. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First up in Wrigley Field here, we have the Chicago Cubs 55-60 going up against the Minnesota Twins 63-48. Looking at the current odds right here, minus 140 with the Minnesota Twins as road favorites with the comeback of the Chicago Cubs at a plus 115. For the public bet percentage here, 88% of the bets, 97% of the money towards the Minnesota Twins in this spot. No information as of right now on the total for this particular game. It's still pretty early, all right? Pitching matchup here, we have Joe Ryan, 7-7 with a 3.59 ERA going against Javier Assad, 5-3 with a 3.19 ERA. For Joe Ryan, he's been very good this season. Very consistent here for the Twins, just across the board between Joe Ryan, Simeon, Woods, Richardson here. Those have been the staples in this rotation for the Twins at the beginning of the season. All right, and he still has been very solid this year. Now, some of his issues are going to be against lefty power. He's given up a 1.69 home run per 9 to lefties in that power department. All right, Javier Assad, looking at his numbers, he does pitch stronger at home with a 2.20 ERA, but he tends to not go very deep into games. A lot of his games are 4, 3, or 5 innings, barely. And if we're looking at some of his issues, it's a big hitting issue against righties. He's given up a 1.65 whip to righties as of right now. And in his last 3 home games, like I said, he hasn't gone deep. He has only gone 4.1/3 of an inning, all right, in the last 3 games. That's his furthest he's went, 4 1/3. That's concerning right there. So you're automatically going into that bullpen. He has a very high walk rate, and he's given up a ton of hits, all right, as well. So he's basically surviving, and then he's out the game, and then pretty much all his stats are gone after that, because it's on to the bullpen in the relief here. So I'm going to be relying on Joe Ryan and his consistency here. Looking at Hassad, he should see a lot of regression, especially in his home numbers as well, with the high walk rate and the hits that he allows to righties. So give me the Twins here on the money line. If we had to choose an over or under, I will take the under on the total that comes out. Depending on the weather, if the wind is blowing out, it's going to be a higher total. I would say that this total would be around 8. Okay, so if it's around 8 or 8.5, give me the under on the total. In the PNC Park here, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates 56 and 55 going up against the San Diego Padres 61 and 52. Padres as road favorites here, minus 155 on the money line with the comeback of the Pittsburgh Pirates at a plus 125. Total runs set at 8. Public bet percentage here, 93% of the bets, 100% of the money on the side of the Padres. Looking at the total runs, 96% of the bets and 96% of the money towards the over 8 runs. In the starting pitching matchup here, Michael King, 9-6 with a 3.26 ERA. Going up against Marco Gonzalez here, 1-1 with a 3.72 ERA. For this pitching matchup here, Marco Gonzalez is a lefty that struggles against righties, and that is not a good recipe right now, especially going up against this strong Padres offense here. He's given up a 3.10 batting average, a 1.23 whip, and an xFIP is almost 5 at 4.95. Majority of his career, he's been a high 4 to 5 ERA guy. He's pitching above his means as of right now this season as well. And in looking at those numbers, I see a lot of regression coming to the side of Marco Gonzalez, especially in this second half of the season. Michael King has been very good this year, newly acquired as a starting pitcher for this Padres team, and he's been very good on the road with a 2.62 ERA. He's given up a low whip and average to both lefties and righties. Just some of an issue he is facing just slightly here is a 1.13 home run per 9 against opposing righties. All right, so in this spot here, I'm going to be agreeing with the public with the Padres here. Give me Padres minus 155 on that money line. I would definitely consider that minus 1.5 as well. If I'm leaning towards an over-under, I would lean towards, it might be one-sided here. I'll go towards the under 8 in the total. In Nationals Park here, we have the San Francisco Giants 57 and 58 going against the Washington Nationals 52 and 62. We have the Giants as road favorites, minus 160 on the money line. Nationals coming back with a plus 135. Total runs set at 8. All right. For the public bet percentage, 94% of the bets, 99% of the money on the side of the Giants. Total runs, 91% of the bets and 91% of the money for the over 8 runs in this particular matchup here between Blake Snell, 1-3 with a 4.29 ERA, Jake Irvin, 8-9 with a 3.56 ERA. In this one here, we're going to start on the side with Jake Irvin. He's been pretty decent this year. Obviously a surprise for this Washington Nationals rotation. And he's been pretty solid, as you can see, with that 3.56 ERA. But as of late, he's been giving up a lot of power to righties. He's given up a 1.32 home run per 9 and a 262 batting average. Just some of the spots that he is, bless me, that he is currently struggling with. Now, looking on the side of Blake Snell, he has been absolutely phenomenal as of late. Like, this man is on a run. Obviously, coming back from his injury, he struggled in his first half of the season, but as of late, he has fully put it together with back-to-back stellar performances here. Against the Reds, 9 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. And then against the Rockies, 6 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts in that performance there. This is what the Giants coveted for, and he chose that team here. And obviously coming back, started slow, but you're seeing the Blake Snell that we know and love here, and he's been absolutely dominant. I think he's going to continue this out for this stretch run of the second half because he had to get up to speed here. So give me the Giants on the money line in this one. I don't think that the Nationals are in a good spot here going up against an ace like Blake Snell. I'm going to go with the under on the total. I think this is going to be a pitching duel between Irvin and Snell. It could be interesting to see if they think if Snell comes out in that 7, 8, or 9 inning range, could the Nationals sneak and take this win here? All right, that's going to be very interesting to see. So you know what? Give me first 5 innings. Okay, I'm gonna post this one. Giants first 5 innings and the total on the under 8. Okay, I think Blake Snell does phenomenal in his first 5 starts. Giants probably hold the lead. But I definitely like the under in this one in a pitching duel between Snell and Irvin. Next up in the Rogers Center here, we have the Toronto Blue Jays 52-61 going against the Baltimore Orioles 67-47. Orioles, we have them as road favorites. That's 3 teams in a row here, road favorites. Minus 150 on the money line with the comeback of the Blue Jays at a plus 125. Total runs set at 9. Okay, for this public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 99% of the money here on Baltimore. For the total runs, 80% of the bets, 79% of the money towards the over 9 runs. And this is a gas can versus a gas can matchup. Trevor Rogers from the Miami Marlins. I don't know why they even went out and got this lefty here because he is not good. 2-10 with a 4.76 ERA. Going against Bowden Francis. So Bowden Francis here, when you see him, this is a bullpen game, and Bowden Francis is not good. All right, 4-3 with a 5.64 ERA. This is an over. All right, take it now before it gets higher. Over 9 runs in this game. Give me that right now before I even say anything else. Over on the 9 for the total, okay? Now, Trevor Rogers, we know he's a bad lefty. We saw him get hit up in his first start for the Orioles against the Guardians. He was giving up cupcakes. I watched that game. Bo Naylor, Josh Naylor, both of the brothers were crushing him. Lane Thomas was crushing him. Jose Ramirez. It didn't matter. It was like a lollipop. The way he throws the baseball is it was like just giving away hits. It was just horrible. So Trevor Rogers against lefties, a 1.74 whip, a 282 batting average. Against righties, a 1.17 home run per 9 and a 277 average, and then a 1.49 whip. So horrible, both sides, lefties and righties. Francis is just as bad here. He's just going to be in for a limited amount of time. And this Toronto bullpen is not good. On top of that, Bowden, while he's pitching, he's given up a 2.70 home run per 9, a 316 batting average, a 1.54 whip, and the xFIP is at 4.59. All right. So this one, if we're looking at a game that we can see an underdog or you see a road favorite falter, this would be the spot here. I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going to take them on the run spread at the plus 1.5 and give me the over on the total. That's the top play, over 9 runs. Next up in Busch Stadium here is St. Louis Cardinals 58-56 going against the Tampa Bay Rays 57-55. Looking at the odds right now, Cardinals are home favorites minus 120 with the comeback of the Rays at a plus 100. Total runs set at 7.5. For that public bet percentage, 92% of the bets, 100% of the money here on St. Louis. That is a lot of trust and faith when we're looking at this pitching matchup, all right? For the total runs, 92% of the bets, 87% of the money towards the over 7.5. For the pitching matchup, Taj Bradley, 6-5 with a 2.71 ERA. Going up against Eric Fetty here, 7-5 with a 3.34 ERA. Fetty, coming from the Chicago White Sox, all right, that's a little bit desperate there. I tend to not like grabbing pitchers from awful teams, and Eric Fetty was only good pretty much at home for the Chicago White Sox. It was a different story on the road. He was getting tattooed on a regular basis, And then Fetty, in his first start with the St. Louis Cardinals, goes out and prepares to get shellacked. 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, and 2 home runs given up in that outing there. It's just more of the same. This is not a good pitcher in Eric Fetty. So he was benefiting from the fact that he was the only bright spot on the Chicago White Sox team. So I guess he was okay in those few moments, but he did not earn an opportunity here to come with the St. Louis Cardinals here and hitch a playoff ride. So on this side here, I'm going to be fully fading Eric Fetty. Taj Bradley has been on a tear as of late. He did get hit up in his previous start against the Miami Marlins, to be 100% transparent with you, but he has cleaned up his issues on the road. Okay, on the road, the problem with him, this is a guy that has phenomenal stuff, a very high strikeout rate, and he was having a home run issue, and he's cleaned that up in his previous road starts. I expect him to get right back to that going up against this St. Louis Cardinals team with his strikeout stuff, his phenomenal ERA. I really like Taj Bradley in this spot here. Give me the road Rays at plus 100. And in this game, if I had to choose an over or under, I would slightly lean. This is a pretty low total. I would slightly lean towards the over 7.5. We have Eric Fetty on the mound that can easily give up 5 runs like he did previously. And I can see a few runs chip in here or there that this over will creep past 7.5. In the Kauffman Stadium here, we have the Kansas City Royals 63-51 going against the Boston Red Sox 60-51 here. In this one, Royals are solidified home favorites, minus 155 with the comeback of the Red Sox at a plus 125. Total runs set at 8.5. For that public bet percentage, 77% of the bets, 98% of the money here on the Royals. For the runs, 88% of the bets, 90% of the money on the over 8.5. Cutter Crawford, 7-8 with a 3.81 ERA, going against Cole Reagans, 8-7 with a 3.36 ERA. So what has happened to Cutter Crawford? That is the story here. He's totally different right now. He was phenomenal at the first half of the season. Coming out of this All-Star break, this man in the last 3 games, I haven't seen this in a long time, especially how good he was pitching. In the last 3 games, 16 earned runs. 16 earned runs given up by Cutter Crawford. 12 home runs. 12 home runs in 3 games Cutter Crawford has given up. His home run per 9 versus lefties 2.97 versus righties 1.47. I don't understand what has happened. Will it continue? Now he's going up against a Royals team that does struggle on the road, but you're getting them in an environment here at home where they have been very hot, and they have one of their aces on the mound, okay? Cole Reagans has dominated the Red Sox so far in his career, and he has very good numbers against opposing righties with a very high K rate and a low whip and average. This is going to be a landslide here. Give me the Royals on the money line. Royals minus 1.5. And for the total, I'm going to lean towards the over 8.5. If we're getting the Cutter Crawford that we've seen in the last 3 games, it does not bode well for the Boston Red Sox. Next up in Coors Field here, we have the Colorado Rockies 41-72 going against the New York Mets 59-53. New York Mets on the money line as road favorites minus 165 with the comeback of the Rockies at a plus 135. Total runs set at 11. So very high total here. For the public bet percentage, no information as of right now on the money line, but for the total, 60% of the bets, 61% of the money towards the over 11. So bettors here, public and sharp, are in the middle with this game here on the total. But I would probably coincide with the over in this one. Looking at the starting pitching matchup, Paul Blackburn 5-2 with a 4.11 ERA. Another pitcher here acquired during the trade deadline that was on a very, very bad team, and he's a very bad pitcher. So Paul Blackburn, and then going up against Ryan Feltner, 1-10 with a 4.97 ERA. For Feltner, he has given up horrible numbers to lefties and righties. Versus lefties, a 1.78 home run per nine, a 330 batting average, and a 1.70 whip. Against righties, a 1.17 home run per nine and a 298 batting average and a 1.39 whip. So that doesn't bode well in this environment. In Coors, and Paul Blackburn, he did impress in his first start with the New York Mets, going up against the Angels. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. But this is a different story here. We're bringing Paul Blackburn in the confines of Coors Field, and that where cause and concern can come up. His numbers against righties, a 1.85 home run per nine, a 278 batting average, a 1.58 whip, and the xFIP is at 5.19. All right, so this is a spot where I like the over on the total of 11. I think these two teams go back and forth with the starting pitchers and even going throughout in the bullpen. I think the winner prevails late in this game in that stretch run of 7, 8, 9 innings in that back area. I'm going to be leaning towards the Mets on the money line here. But the top play will be the total on over 11 runs. Last but not least, we have a possible future NLCS matchup here. Philadelphia Phillies 66-46 going up against the LA Dodgers 66-47 here. Dodgers are home favorites, minus 140 on the money line with the comeback of the Phillies at a plus 115. Total runs set at 9. All right. For the public bet percentage here, no information as of right now on the money line, but for the total runs, 91% of the bets, 92% of the money towards the over 9 runs. All right. Tyler Phillips here is 3-1 with a 4.39 ERA going up against Gavin Stone, 9-5 with a 3.63 ERA. So interesting matchup here. Tyler Phillips, when he first came up, he was pitching well, but I think he's been figured out just a little bit here. So looking at his last 5 starts here, pitched phenomenally against Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and even the Cleveland Guardians, okay? Had a big hiccup against Oakland. That was a little concerning. 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. And then against Seattle, this one was really embarrassing. 1 2/3 innings, 8 earned runs, 3 home runs, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout against a very poor offensive team here in the Seattle Mariners. So he's going up against here a solidified offense here in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Which Tyler Phillips are we going to see is going to be the real question, okay? Are we going to see the Tyler Phillips that we've seen against the Guardians and the Braves? Or are we going to see the Tyler Phillips that went against the Mariners or the Oakland Athletics? That's very interesting to see. It's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, all right? Gavin Stone has been one of the studs of the LA Dodgers in the first half of the season. He's been the only healthy guy in the rotation. They really needed help, and that's why they went out and got Jack Flaherty here. But across the board, Gavin Stone has been really good. But looking at his numbers against righties, this is where the Philadelphia Phillies could attack him, all right? Against righties, a 1.73 home run per nine, a 308 batting average, and a 1.38 whip. So they can get him with some power and even some average as well. So I think this spot could be a back and forth situation between Tyler Phillips and Gavin Stone, going up against these tough offensives here. So I'm going to lean towards the over on 9 runs between these two pitchers. But I do ultimately think that the Dodgers will prevail at the end, okay? So Dodgers on the money line, over on the total of 9 runs. Those are going to be our selections for the Wednesday slate, all right? Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your plays for Wednesday? We can definitely discuss about that. Guys, if you want to sign up for that Patreon, remember, that link is provided down below. And also with that description section down below, there will be the bet stamp link there for more free bets. Just click on that link, you go to the bet stamp website, and you'll have access to more free bets on the Wednesday slate. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out.